Thank you for tuning in to the Parma Area Chamber of Commerce podcast. We will be focusing on everything from spotlighting our members to discussing what is happening in the chamber. This episode is brought to you by Idea Cleveland. Idea Cleveland is a proud sponsor of all the efforts of our chamber. Now, let's join the conversation at the Idea Cleveland studio in Independence, Ohio.
All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Parma Area Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm Chris Simon with Idea Cleveland, and joining me today is
Stephanie Congilio
and Mike Wisner, both from Incarnate Word Academy.
All right, so what is Incarnate Word Academy?
Incarnate Word Academy is the premier regional Catholic school in the area. We are pre-K through 8, and we have been around since 1935.
1935, that's a long time.
It is indeed.
Yes. So what makes you different than other schools in our area?
Oh, that would be, it all started with the Sisters of the Incarnate Word, and they've been in our area, the Northeast Ohio area, for over 85 years. Several of them came here off the boat from Ireland, and they've worked in many capacities in the community. So they've been teachers, principals, they've worked nursing homes, hospice, and so they've really had the opportunity to get to know families, to get to know people, to work with children, and that has definitely established this love and respect from everybody for the sisters and the mission that they have set forth for our school for academic excellence and living the gospel values.
So I think the other thing, when the sisters founded the school way back in 1935, they had this vision for a school that not only was rooted in faith, but really provided academic rigor. And in today's world, the unfortunate reality is, I think, from an industry perspective, you're seeing people scale things back. And, we've all heard about teaching to the middle. And our job as lay people, as lay administrators, is really to carry on this vision that the sisters had. And so when you ask what differentiates us, it is this idea that we embrace academic rigor, and our parents want that, and they want more for their students. And so whether it's our extracurricular programs there's more than 40 extracurriculars, all focused on academics. Now, don't get me wrong, Chris, we have sports, we have fun, but there is this culture that the sisters built, and the way that they defined it is inspiring academic excellence and then bringing the gospel to life. And so for all of our students, our teachers' job is, as administrators, our job is to instill this love of learning, this passion for learning. And so I think that is something that definitely separates us. And then bringing the gospel message to life, whether you're Catholic or non-Catholic, the values that are preached in the gospel, they're universal. I mean, Catholic by definition means universal. And so these are the same principles and foundations that any parent wants to instill in their children.
It's amazing. So what kind of community do you have there at the school?
It's definitely a close-knit community. The sisters, but the sisters still live on campus. So they live on the 3rd floor. The parents, the teachers, the administrators. In fact, we had a PTSU, which are Parent Teacher Student Union, social last night, and it was great just for administrators to be there working in conjunction with the parents. And so we all have this shared mission, and it's a very, very close-knit community. Having said that, it is not a closed community. It is very welcoming to all, and I think that's what one of the things I'm most proud of is when new families transfer in, the most common thing we hear is, I felt welcome from the start, and this is how a school should be run, and this is what I was seeking for my child.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would just like to brag a little bit about some of the academics in the school. When a student graduates from our school, if they're ready in 8th grade, if they're ready for 8th grade math, that's wonderful. That's what they'll be completing by the end of the year. But if they're ready for more, they can graduate with high school algebra. They can graduate with high school geometry. We offer language opportunities for all of our students from pre-K all the way through grade 8. So our pre-K to grade 4 students take etymology, so the study of the origin of words. Our 5th grade completes a year of world cultures, And then our 6th through 8th graders take Latin. So by the time they get into high school, most of them can test out of Latin 1 as well.
So I understand that IWA has a very diverse culture and student body. What do you mean by that?
It's a great question. It's actually one of the things we pride ourselves most on, and I think it's one of the things our families value the most when we ask them. We have students from 4 different counties, 20 different cities locally, and believe it or not, Chris, 25 different countries are represented by first-generation parent or student. And so that just speaks to the diversity. Now, the thing that unites everybody is they all want the best educational experience for their child. And so it's, people talk a lot about diversity, and I think there's a lot of forced programs for acceptance, and it is amazing watching kids pre-K through 8. There is just a natural acceptance. And we've had students from Ukraine, for example, who barely speak English when they start, and they are just embraced by the community. We help them, we work with them, we partner them with other families. And so I think our diversity is absolutely one of our greatest strengths, and again, united by the fact that all of the families just want the best educational experience for their children.
So let's say we have a parent listening, and maybe the public school system isn't their cup of tea for whatever reasons.
Sure.
And they're looking at all these different options out there. Let's be honest, there's many options out there. What makes yours really stand out in the crowd is one that they should definitely take a look at.
Yeah, my answer might surprise you. I would actually encourage parents to investigate all of their options because the reality is no school is the right fit for every student. If, however, you are looking for an education where your student will be pushed but in a loving and supportive environment, that to me is what really differentiates IWA. We pride ourselves on pushing the students academically, but we understand that puts pressure on them. And you're talking students, and I'm talking as early as pre-K. We have high expectations. And so you have to do that in a way that lets them know that they are loved and they are supported and they are valued and they are perfect just the way God made them. But part of the expectation is that as a student, you have to work hard and you have to push yourself. And so for some students, it comes more natural than others, and we need to make sure those students feel that even if they struggle, it's okay. It's okay to struggle. And so, as a parent of 3 daughters myself, this is the exact type of environment that I would want for my daughters.
Let's say someone wants to learn more information. Where should they go?
I would say first thing would be come visit our school. We're always available. We would love for families to get inside our classrooms and see what our students are learning, meet our teachers, and see our beautiful grounds.
Excellent. And, so this school isn't free.
Right.
So how do we help people be able to afford it?
Certainly, that's a great question. And that's one of the most common questions we get is from a financial aid standpoint, what's available? And, I'm happy to share with you, Chris, 33% of our families receive some form of financial assistance. Our families were awarded more than $489,000 last year alone in financial assistance. So in addition to the aid that we provide, we also are an Ed Choice provider and also a Cleveland Scholarship provider. And philosophically, we don't care your socioeconomic background. If you are a family that is committed to academics and your child is willing to do the work, we want you to be part of our community. And we will work with you to find a way to make that happen from a financial perspective.
Excellent. Is there a certain time of the year that's best to reach out? When's enrollment end and such like that?
Enrollment, officially enrollment begins in January, but we have tours going on all the time through the building, summer, during school. So we would encourage anybody to reach out and come see why we're so special.
Could someone enroll right now?
Absolutely. I mean, there is limited capacity in some of the grades, and that's, philosophically, we do cap the grades. And so no class K through 3 is going to be bigger than 20. 4 and 5, no bigger than 22. And 6, 7, and 8, which is our preparatory academy, no bigger than 24 in a class. And that is consistent with our approach to academic excellence, making sure that we are keeping class sizes limited to make sure our teachers can focus their energy and attention on all of the students.
That's great. What is your website?
www.incarnatewordacademy.org.
And where are you guys located?
We are located at 6620 Pearl Road.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Parma Area Chamber of Commerce podcast. And we hope that you're enjoying all these. And if you would like to be spotlighted here at the set, let us know.
Thanks for listening to the Parma Area Chamber of Commerce podcast. We would like to thank our sponsor, Idea Cleveland. Please subscribe to our podcast to be notified when new episodes are released.